Hi everyone, I'm Caffeinated Granny. You're watching my knitting vlog. Today we're going to be talking about some finished objects. I've got 3 finished objects, and then I'm also going to be talking to you about like an exciting little project that I'm doing. Basically, I'm trying to design my own knitting notebook, so I thought I could bring you along to that journey as well. So first finished object I'm actually wearing. I am really happy with this one. This is my own design. Let me show you. I think it's so beautiful. I'm really excited. I'm using Knitting for Olive, this combo. So the merino in red currant, and then I'm using a soft silk mohair in pink daisies. So held together creates this beautiful color. It's really soft. Blocked out very nicely as well. I'm knitting this up on 4.5mm needles. And the tricky part is because I really wanted to do, the slip stitch pattern that I keep seeing everywhere now. So this part here is slip stitch. So you see it's like a knit and then you slip one. Then for the finishing here on the arm, I'm doing a twisted rib. So we've got twisted knit stitch and then a purl stitch. And I think the transition is quite nice for the finishing. Oh, I've got some ends I didn't weave in. I got a bit too excited to wear this. For the finishing here, I did a 3-stitch I-cord. I think blends very nicely in with the slip stitch pattern. Bottom, yeah, I did the same as I did for the end of the sleeve. I'm like showcasing my knits like this. Let's talk about construction. I'll take this off. Oh yeah, and I forgot to talk about the enclosure. A little cute crochet, so the whole jacket closes with that one little pearl. So it's like a cape, and I think it's kind of cute. I'm also planning on maybe just doing 4 more of these because I do have 4 more pearl buttons. So let's talk construction. For this one, I had some challenges with the construction. Like I definitely frogged it, did it again and did it again and stuff like that. And it was mainly because this is the first time that I knit the knit and slip stitch pattern, and I wasn't sure how to do that, how to like navigate the short rows. That took a little bit of time for me to figure out, but basically I started with a provisional cast on with a crochet hook. I find that super easy. And then I was knitting in the slip stitch pattern for up here. I started decreasing to get the sort of trapezoid shape, but at the end of the row I would decrease until I had a certain amount of stitches, and then picked up stitches at the front here and continued shaping the neckline. So nothing special there. I'm sure you're used to hearing about this construction. And then I tried something different for the sleeves. So one of the things that is really bothering me when I knit slightly oversized sleeves is that fabric sort of gathers underneath your armhole and it looks so like, it's not very flattering. There's just an excess of fabric underneath. I decided to do German short rows on top of the sleeve cap. Once I've got like the sleeve cap angled in a slightly downward direction, then I start knitting in the round. I'm super happy with the result because the fit is great. And I don't have that excess fabric underneath my armhole, which is exactly what I wanted to achieve. So yeah, it's very exciting. Now I just need to weave in these ends, and I want to take some photos while I have it like this, and then I'll get more buttons on and I'll take photos of that too. So yeah, that's my newest cardigan that I'm really excited about. Very proud of the design. This yarn is heavenly. I'm going to be putting out a test knit for this. If you'd like to sign up to test knit, I would really appreciate it. I'm leaving the form underneath. I would say that this is probably more of like an intermediate skill level, but if you want to make it and you're a beginner, I would say go for it anyway. You can figure it out. There's so many tutorials out there, and I'm definitely going to do my best to make it very understandable. And since this is a test knit, there are liberties there. You can ask questions and I'll be there to answer them as best as I can. So yeah, just to say, if you're as excited about this as I am, then please sign up to the test knit. That would be cool. And then I've got my other finished object, which I have been working on for quite some time now. And this is my fluffy, chunky beanie. And I was thinking, because it's almost my birthday this month, so I was thinking maybe I could like release this as a free pattern as like a birthday gift to my followers. I'm in Portugal right now and it's painful wearing this hat because there's so much sun, and I was definitely very late to this beanie party. Before Christmas I was just seeing so many cool fluffy beanies popping up all over my feed, and I was like, oh my god, I really want to make one. So I got this yarn. This is mainly a yarn called Fnugg in Florence, which is by Bæstemor, which is a Norwegian yarn from the House of Yarn. This is what I've got left of it here, and this yarn is beautiful. It's like 100% brushed alpaca, and it comes in so many colors. Like, I was really struggling at the yarn store because I couldn't for the life of me choose a color. The yarn was like slightly awkwardly placed very, very close to the exit, and since I was there for ages, I think the girl at the till was like, are you stealing? And I don't know if you guys do this, but sometimes I like create these crazy scenarios in my head. Okay, I need to decide really quick now because the lady at the till is thinking that I'm stealing, and I need to do, you know, just crazy. I'm crazy. I went for like a very, very safe choice, light blue, because I know that that really suits my complexion, but I really wanted to go for some crazy purples there. And then I figured, because from my experience when I knit with alpaca yarn, it sort of doesn't hold its shape very well in a garment, so I really wanted to get something that would hold the structure a little bit. So I went with one skein of this Alpakka Boucle from Sandnes garn. One skein of this is 50 grams, but it's 400 meters. So I got these two together, and then I figured, because I had 1/2 skein of ice blue soft silk mohair from Knitting for Olive left in my stash, and I was like, let's just throw that in there. These are the ones that make up my fluffy hat. And then my last finished object, it's actually kind of sad. This is my Heidi's cozy cardigan. Guys, it's a total flop. Like, I've never made anything so unflattering in my life. I put it on and it's nothing like I had envisioned, unfortunately. And I was really excited about this. And it took, like, this is the second try, because I did another version and then I totally shrinked it in the washing machine. And then I was like, no, I am going to make this happen. I attempted to buy yarn for it, right? And then I got the wrong color. I got this one. It was supposed to be very simple. I was showing it to Tiago, my boyfriend, and he has a very, very strong fashion sense. I think he looks great and everything, and he knows exactly how to dress himself. And he was suggesting, basically he was saying what makes it so unflattering is that at the bottom I just have the button band, right? And then I don't have anything here at the very bottom of the body. So he thinks I can save it by making a double knitted finishing on the body as well, all around. So I'm thinking, is this really worth the struggle? Because this is the second try. But then again, I am also Norwegian, and in Norway we have this slogan that says "Alle gode ting er tre," which basically means all good comes in threes, I think. So that means that, like, I had 2 failed tries, so surely the third try must work out. Well, to be continued. And then another project that I've got in mind, it's related to knitting, but it's not exactly a knitting project. I really wanted to buy myself one of those pre-made knitting notebooks where you write down project details like gauge and stuff, and you can put photos. I've just seen a lot of people lately on my feed doing like sort of a scrapbook but with their knitting projects, just really getting so into it, and I love that. I've never really been a fan of Ravelry. I really like to take physical notes. I wanted to get one of those notebooks. The price of the notebook that I want is really high, so I was thinking, why don't I make my own? I did make my own book, hold on, I'll get it. A couple of years ago, it was really in to have these like mindful journals where you would like sort of like a mood diary and like a grateful list type of thing, and that's been really helpful for me. I made my own book. I work as a UX UI designer, so in Figma, it's like a design program. I can easily make stuff like this. So I made like a little mood diary just for myself and for my boyfriend. And you can sort of publish it for free with Amazon. I can't remember the details of how I did it. If you're interested in that type of thing, you can probably search it up on YouTube. So yeah, I was just thinking of having a look at other design books out there and seeing what sort of input fields they have and what's useful. And I'd also really like to hear from you guys, to hear like what fields you use, what fields are useless. I'm very excited about it. I think it can be cool. So I'm thinking of having like 2 pages for each project. So the first page would just be like input fields that you put in that's good to know for your memory. Stuff like, you know, what yarn you used, how many skeins, the needle size, what size you cast on, all those things that you think that you will remember but you forget, type of things. And then on the other side, I would have like a dotted page where you can just write anything, or you can attach stuff like samples of your yarn or anything like photos. You know, I like to keep it quite open-minded, or open-ended is the word. Well, that's all I have for today, guys. Thank you for hanging out with me, and let me know if you're interested in test knitting these. That would be really cool. And also let me know what you guys are knitting now in this seasonal transitional period. Are you sticking with winter whips, or are you already knitting spring stuff? Because I find myself really reaching for spring colors and spring stuff already now. So yes, thank you for hanging out, and I'll see you next time.